Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa, and welcome back to Book Bar, and welcome to my quarter two unhaul. I have books here that I'm unhauling. Obviously, I am going to try to do this as I haul more books. I'm trying to really just be mindful of the books that I own and like keeping books that I really truly love and want to recommend all the time, and getting rid of books that I don't think I'm ever going to read, or two, bought for some other reason, or just don't necessarily need it. So we're just going to go ahead and get on into it. Just because I'm on the book does not mean it's necessarily not a book I love or not a book that I enjoyed. I'll explain. But yeah, so we're going to actually start with a book that I absolutely adore, but I need to unhaul it. And that is the Book of the Month edition of Butcher and Blackbird. I don't love Book of the Month editions. They're not special editions. Oh, that's kind of funny. I will keep that. They're not special editions in any way. And I didn't love Leather and Lark. And so I'm not going to purchase the Book of the Month edition of Leather and Lark. So there's no point in keeping Butcher and Blackbird. I will keep my other editions of the books, but this is one that I just don't necessarily need to keep. And so it can go. I would probably post it on Pango, but it probably won't sell. Who knows? It might. If it doesn't, it'll be going to a little free library near me probably, or to Half Price Books. Then another book that we'll just do two more books that I absolutely love, but I have another edition of. So I have the hardcover editions of the Lost and Found series by Catherine Cowles. So I am going to get rid of unhaul my paperback edition of Whispers of You. I'm not going to get the rest of them in paperback. The hardbacks are absolutely gorgeous. They have the couple covers, which when I pre-ordered this one, I didn't realize that's what the hardcovers had. I thought they were just the discrete editions without the alternate editions without the people. But then I realized that the people are on the naked hardback. And so I said, I'd rather have that than the paperbacks. I do love paperbacks. I am a paperback girly. I mean, it's gorgeous. But sometimes the hardbacks aren't overly big to where some hardbacks are. But yeah, so this one is going to go. I'm not going to get the rest of them. Why keep one when I have another edition of it? Then another one that probably not going to put on Pango because it is, and I do need to do some stuff before I do it, but that is The Varsity Dad Dilemma. I have two editions of this. The pages are falling out of this one. So when I got it, I was reading it and the pages started to fall out. So I had gone to Amazon and was like, yo, give me a new edition. Give me a new copy. Which they did. So, and then let me keep this one. So I need to transfer over my tabs, and then I will probably just put this in a little free library. Hopefully someone will enjoy it. But it is going to go because I don't need it. I have another edition that is in perfect condition. Then another book I really enjoyed when I read it was Suddenly You by Lisa Kleypas. I do want to own all of Lisa Kleypas's books, but I would prefer to have the step backs, and this one doesn't have one. And so I just have decided, if I've read it and I don't absolutely, and plus I can find this edition. Every time I go to Half Price Books, I see one. So it's not like it's some sort of unicorn. If I decide one day that I need it, I'm never going to get the special, I will keep my copy of Dreaming of You, even though it's not the step back edition. I will keep it because that is one of my favorite historicals. It is one of my favorite Lisa Kleypas's, but this one was just a good time. So I'm not going to keep it. I do need to be a little bit more particular, especially about my historicals and getting rid of some of them. Although this is the only one in this pile, but maybe in the next one I'll go through my historicals a little bit more. But this one is going to go because, again, it's easy to find. It's not like this is one that is really difficult to find anywhere, and it doesn't have the step back. If it had the step back, it's not going, but it doesn't have the step back, so it's gonna go. Then this one might hurt some people, but I am going to unhaul Get a Life, Actor A.G. Brown. I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown years ago, and I just have not continued the series. And I read that one on ebook, so my library has them. They're very easy to get. And so I'm just going to unhaul Eve Brown. I don't think I'll ever own the whole series. If I want to, I'm sure I can find them on Pango. I'm sure I can find them somewhere for a fairly reasonable price. And so I am going to unhaul this one because it's the only one I own, and it's just kind of taking up room on my shelves for a book that I have not been prioritizing. And so I'm gonna get rid of it. Maybe one day I'll regret that decision, but for now, it's going. I have a problem, and that is anytime I see a book on sale, I'm like, I need to buy that. And one of those was Hot House Flower by Kristen Becker Ritchie. This edition, I don't think you can get it anywhere else. Like this edition of like all of the books of like this, I don't even buy them anywhere, like of any of. So I'm never gonna have the full set like this. So why would I keep this? I don't know why I bought it in the first place. I think maybe I thought one day I would, and I just haven't, and I have not read it, and I don't know that I want to. Like, I know the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series is like super long, and I'm horrible about reading backlist books, and so I don't know. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna unhaul it. If one day I want to own it, I will buy if one day I read the series and I'm obsessed, I will buy the editions that all match. I'm not gonna have one random one that doesn't match. So that one is getting unhauled. A couple books that I read last quarter, and I had a good time with a couple of them, but I just don't foresee me needing them. Like, they're not anything great. Like, I'm not obsessed. I don't need them. So I'm gonna unhaul them. Latte Darling by S.J. Tilley. This is not like a favorite of all time or anything. It's a gorgeous edition. I love the Hello Lovely. It's signed. Like, it is a special edition. So, I mean, hopefully it's perfect condition too. It's fun. It's a good book. I enjoyed it, but it's not an all-time favorite, and it is a series. So if I were to like read the rest of the series and love them, I would never have matching editions. So again, I'm not going to keep something that I'm not going to have multiple editions of. Like, it's not an all-time favorite. I don't need it. So it is going to go. How Does It Feel by Jeannie Anna Riley. I was indifferent towards this book. I read it. It was fine. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not going to buy the rest of the series because they're on Kindle Unlimited. Tell myself that. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. They're on KU. If I want to continue, I will read them on KU. If for some reason I end up absolutely adoring it, I'll just buy it again. But I don't foresee that happening because I really just was, like, even the end of this book didn't shock me the way people said it would. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So it's going to go. Then another one, I bought this for book club. I read it for book club. I will never reread it. I'm not going to buy the cheat sheet. It's really a gorgeous cover. I gave it 4 stars, but I just don't foresee it being a book that I ever reread. It's not going to be a book I recommend all that much because it's like, in terms of like the tropes that it is, I've read better. I've read books that I love more, so it can go. A couple books that are going to go to my niece because which I should have grabbed. There's one more missing. I'll grab it later. But are going to go to my niece because I just have not been, like, for a while I was like, oh, I love middle grade. It's great. Now I'm like, I don't. Like, I'm never going to recommend them. Oh, I don't read them for content. Like, I just don't force, like, I don't, even if I read them, like, I'm not going to talk about it on my Instagram, anything like that. So it's just, like, I am a romance reader with, like, occasional fantasy going into it. And the occasional, like, thriller or horror because my dad likes to read them and I buddy read with him. But, so these are just not books that bring me joy. I don't need them on my shelves. So they can go. And that is, so I actually need to find my copy of Amari and the Night Brothers because I'm going to give that one away to my niece. I think she will love these. These are great fantasies. I still haven't read the second one. I've had it for so long, and so it just needs, maybe I'll reread, like, maybe it's one that, like, I can read it and, like, give it to her and have her read it. We can talk about it, like, do, like, a little book club, or she has a book club with her friends. Maybe I can convince them to read it and be like, hey, this is a great one. You should suggest this one. And they can read, like, this series. So Amari, so pretend I'm holding up Amari because that one's going to go. And then Amari and The Great Game are also going to go. Great series. Or the first book was fantastic. And yeah, I just don't need books on my shelves that I'm not going to read. And that is one of them. And then the other one is Winged Trap Dagger by take Heller. I bought this, I think it was like half price, and I was like, I had heard good things about it, so I was like, I bought it. I think it was one that I bought thinking I would do this thing with my niece, and we just never did it, and so I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna give it to her, and hopefully she loves them. And, you know, then in a year or two, her little sister can read them, and they will get more use out of them than they ever would have gotten just sitting on my shelves. Now into 4 books that I have not read, but I just don't foresee myself reading them anytime soon. And again, they're just taking up space on my shelves. The first one is Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater. I had told myself I was going to read, 2 years ago, I was going to read all the SPF Fail books, and I never did. And this was one of them. It was on sale on Target, like Target had it, and so I bought it on like a Target sale, and I just never got around to reading it. The hype has died down for it. It was the SPF Fail winner, so that's cool, but I just don't foresee myself reading it. I never, like, a lot of people love Cozy Fantasy. I've tried a couple. I've never really been a huge fan of it. I say that while I pretty sure I hauled one in my haul that I posted the other day, but it's fine. It's gonna go. Hopefully someone will love it. It's pretty. It is really pretty. It has fun formatting, like, but yeah, I just don't foresee myself. It has footnotes. I just don't foresee myself reading it anytime soon, so it can go. Then I have Carter by Bree Paisley. I have never heard anyone talk about this. I got it in a reveal book box like years ago, and I keep holding on to it, but it just needs to go. Nothing about it sounds all that like interesting or life-changing, so it can go. Another one is Out of Love. I got this in a reveal book box. Again, nothing in it is calling to me. It's not something that like I'm like, I need to read that. So I'm trying to only keep reveal like books from book boxes that I got before. I got like special edition book boxes that really are like books that sound good to me, that I like want to read, and that's just not one. Like those just aren't ones that are really calling to me. And then the last one is Simmer Down by Sarah Smith. It is a traditionally published romance that if I really want to, I'm sure I can get on from the library, but it's a couple years old at this point, and I have not ever been drawn to it. 2020, so this is 4 years old at this point, and I have not picked it up. I'm not a huge foodie romance person. I like baking for some reason, but I don't love like food truck types. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not one that like is calling to me. And again, it's a traditionally published romance. It was published 4 years ago. I'm sure if I look in my library, they have a copy of it. It's probably available to read right now. So I don't need it. It can go. But yeah, so I am unhauling 16 books this quarter, which is good. Again, hopefully next quarter I actually have a couple books that I'm thinking of unhauling that kind of hurt my heart to say I'm an unhaul, but then I'm also just like, why do I keep these books if I'm never gonna reread them, or I don't recommend them? They're not books that like bring me all that joy. So yeah, stay tuned for that unhaul. But yeah, these will probably be on my Pango, most of them. There might be a couple that obviously the middle grade ones won't be, and I don't know about all of them, but yeah. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me the X emoji. I don't know why, I'm just feeling the red X. And yeah, let me know the book you most recently unhauled and why you unhauled it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye.